Welcome, everybody, to the second Baker Broadcast podcast. We're back with Curtis Tucker, and we're doing basically a follow-up on the last podcast. And I've been working on TikTok and my website for the last week, so I wanted to get back with Curtis and, follow up on the points. And he had also posted a great piece about websites in the last week that I also wanted to talk to him about. So, welcome, Curtis. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Glad to see you again. Glad you're working on stuff.
Yeah, man. It's been a busy week. So,
yeah,
we were just chatting a little bit about TikTok.
Yeah, I actually did get on TikTok yesterday. I just didn't know you were on there. I was, what was I going to do? I think I was just looking. I'm going to do like what you're doing, just to let everybody know. If they didn't catch the last episode, you and I talked about TikTok, and what we need to let everybody know is that TikTok, you don't have to get on TikTok and try to be funny or do a dance or a lip sync. You can actually get on there and do whatever you want. Like you can get on there and play your songs and try to build up a following of listening to your songs. And I'm going to get on there and try to build up a following of listening to my tips on how to start a website and a side gig and things like that. So don't feel like you've got to imitate everything that's coming down your news feed on TikTok.
There's a pretty wide variety of
people
making videos for TikTok. It's all
good.
It's all pretty entertaining. I have come across a few that are like more informational, and some really, really great artists that are doing some interesting things with the platform, like the duets and stuff. Have you seen? So I
have not.
It's really interesting for musicians. Like, so somebody can post a video and have the duet function enabled, and other people can do a duet with them and repost it. And so then you get, multiples of those, and it's like a band of people that don't know each other.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is. But it's also really, I don't understand yet if there is even a correlation between plays and likes. Because it seems to be like the main currency is plays.
Yeah, no, what you're after is likes. You're wanting to get the people to like you or follow you or whatever. Yeah, now the plays are good. They help you reach more people. But yeah, having a video reach, let's say 100,000 people, if you don't get, 70 people to follow you or like you, it's not going to do you, a whole lot of good. So, but that's why you got to keep after it. It's that whole consistency thing. You just got to keep plugging away. And then when people see one or two of your videos and they see that second one, then they're like, hey, I like this guy, so I'm going to like him or follow him so I don't miss any of his stuff. And that's what you're trying to get. But the thing about if you have a lot of plays, then at least you're reaching a lot more people. So you've got a more likelihood of a few people at least liking you.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a ton of people on there.
There are a ton.
I
mean, a billion.
Yeah, and it's very short clips too, so you are digesting it at a really high rate. And it does seem like there is room for like really big numbers. I mean, there are people that know that. It's. Do you know anything about how the algorithm works? It seems to be kind of.
Well, that's the cool thing right now. There isn't much of an algorithm. Right now, they're just kind of letting everything. Really, the only way to control things is to use keywords. So when you type out your comments or the text for your video, stick some keywords in there, some hashtags, and that's really the only way of controlling anything right now. Otherwise, it's just kind of a free for all right now. I'm not sure what gets something going. I don't think anybody knows that yet, but the cool thing is almost anything can get going at this point. You just never know what's going to take off. So the more you upload and the more you keep posting to it, then something's going to take off.
Right. Yeah. That seems to be, just looking at other people's pages, that seems to be kind of the way it works. One like catches the wind and will fly. I mean, just it doesn't even make sense how much more some will get than others on some people's pages. Like, so, you'll see one that's 100,000 and then one that's not even made it to 100 yet from months ago.
And I think what it does the your main feed shows you some of the more popular ones, but then I think there's ways that you can go in there and control what you want to see. And then as the algorithm, there's probably is beginning to be an algorithm, and then it's going to finally eventually get to know what you like to watch. So if you get on there and you're watching the goofy,
that's
it's going to.
That's the code I'm trying to crack right now, is how to get, because there's clearly there's people doing like what I'm doing on there that have large numbers of followers. So it's just kind of figuring out how to slide mine into that current. And I think the hashtags probably are a big part of it. I kind of played around with that too. TikTok has its own kind of language of hashtags. It seems like the For You and For You page. Are you familiar with that one?
Yeah.
I tried it, and it got like less than like some of the other videos. So I don't know.
It's just going to take some playing around. And don't forget, I think I've seen some people using the hashtag like Oklahoma. I mean, I've actually seen people request, hey, if you're from Oklahoma, follow me so we can connect.
Right. That I posted, or Ashley and I posted a clip of Oklahoma Breakdown, and I put Oklahoma as a hashtag, and I think Oklahoma City, I think that may have been it, but I have already connected with other people from Oklahoma.
Oh, well, good.
And actually that video has got the most likes of any
of them. Good.
Yeah, not nearly even close to the most plays, and the one that most plays doesn't have even close to the most likes.
Yeah,
so still trying to figure out how that works, but it's definitely, and it seems like a great way also to drive traffic to YouTube. It seems like that maybe it's kind of more of a commercial platform, right?
Yeah, no. So basically, when we're talking about TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, those are kind of advertisements and many little marketing tools, and you're trying to drive people to YouTube and to your website. Because think about it, how often do you go to somebody's Instagram account and go all the way down their feed for months and months just to see what they've posted in the past? Mm-hmm. Very few people. So really the only thing people are seeing of you is the latest thing you've just posted. So those are not the format to. That's why I tell everybody, no matter what you do, you've got to have a website, because you got to have somewhere to drive those people to, because you don't want to build up a million people on Instagram or TikTok and lose them and not have them have gone anywhere else.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Because what we're talking about there is not just people that are wanting to digest your 30-second clips. They're actually interested in what you're really doing. And those are the people that you are there for, or that I'm there for.
Yeah, those are going to be your true fans, and they're going to go over to your YouTube channel and your website and check out your About Us page, and that's where you need a really good story. So make sure you work on your story about who you are, why you're doing what you're doing. Make something unique about yourself, to encourage them to think, hey, this guy's like me, and I want to follow him.
So there's not a lot of room in terms of like a bio or profile.
That's right. You're using like a GoDaddy page, right?
You mean on the website? Okay, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, on the website and on YouTube a little bit, but no, not on TikTok. No.
Yeah. So I'm using TikTok right now to drive people. See, at first it was kind of scattered after I got the TikTok thing going, and there's very little room on the profile for links or URLs. So then I had to kind of consolidate everything I was doing into my website, which I'd been needing to do anyway. So that's what I've got now. And so my website, the homepage, has at the top, it's got a SoundCloud link to the song that I recorded last week. So people can click that and listen to the whole thing. Then it's got the bio right under that. And then under that is a link to get to the YouTube channel. So Perfect. They can subscribe to that. And it says to subscribe to that. And then there's also the email list at the bottom.
Ah, good.
Right?
Good. Yeah.
And then at the store. So it's all there, and I'm driving people from TikTok to the website. I'm still figuring out my pipipeline. I'm kind of making it up as I go, really. It's like, okay, I've got these pieces now. I just got to kind of connect them. How do I, So
that's exactly why I tell people to get started, because you don't know what's going to happen, what's going to connect, whether you're going to be okay on TikTok or maybe you've got to go to Instagram, but you're not ever going to know whether you're right for TikTok if you don't start. So you're doing it perfect. Just get started, try to figure it out. If it doesn't start to work after a while, then you say, okay, that's not the thing for me, and I'm going to go back to Instagram or just do YouTube. But we got to remind these people, if you don't get started and start somewhere, there's nowhere to change and pivot and make it work.
Well, I'll tell you too, if people are watching this that aren't familiar with TikTok yet, especially if you're an artist, the more I get into it, the more I'm impressed with the way that it does function. It's like a commercial generator. So also from TikTok, I've found it to be the most easy to share platform, for instance. So you've got great little short snippet commercials. So you're going through, what I've been doing is going through, and actually Ashley's done a lot. She's helped a lot, and it takes a lot of time. We've gone through the live performances and then get the little clips, right? The best part. And then we'll load that onto there. But then once it's on there, it's incredibly easy to share to Instagram story, Instagram page, Facebook story, Facebook page, any of the other ones. And so for me, the way in terms of looking at it as like maybe it's the right place or maybe it's not the right place, I don't know of anything else that was functioning that way. A little commercial generator, basically.
Yeah, there's something about it that people really like that's completely different than the other ones, and there's a reason for that. And I don't know exactly what it is, but it's a cool. What I've noticed is a lot of my friends are sharing TikTok videos on Facebook. They're using TikTok as their content for Facebook, which is really going to blow up TikTok once more and more people start doing that. So it's definitely a platform everybody needs to at least experiment with right now, while there's no algorithm sucking the juice out of everything you post.
So wow, okay, I didn't realize that. I thought it was just like some crazy algorithm that was just.
No, there's literally no algorithm right now. So that's why it's kind of the Wild West. And that's why you're getting some weird results, because there's just right now they're just kind of letting everything go, I think, to see what happens. And then as they get more and more content, then they're going to start to overflow and they're going to have too much content. And when you reach that level, that's when they got to kick in an algorithm and say, okay, now, so back in the day on Twitter, we used to see everything on Twitter. When we liked 8,000 people on Twitter, we were able to see every one of their tweets.
Right.
And then they kicked in an algorithm, and now you can't. Now you only see certain ones. So TikTok right now, if you'll go like certain TikToks, they're going to show you all those TikToks, whereas eventually they're not. So now's the time to get in.
Page, you mean? You'll see all. You mean if I follow someone else's TikTok, it'll actually show me all their TikToks?
Yes. Right now, but eventually it won't. So get in now, get people to start seeing your TikTok, so they'll see every one of them that you're posting.
Right. And you're saying the best way to do that is to share to Facebook and other platforms.
Well, that helps. The best thing to do is just stay consistent and keep posting to TikTok. Just keep posting.
That does seem to have something to do with it. Yeah. And the more as some clips pick up speed, it seems to the other one seems to catch kind of the waves, I guess, if that makes sense. It doesn't seem to be like isolated to just that clip. It seems like as one clip goes up, it kind of carries some of the others to an extent. But it's fun.
And I know Facebook does that. So maybe they do already have some algorithm working on it. But yeah, I've noticed on Facebook, if I do a post that reaches, let's say, 100,000 people, everything I post for the rest of the day is going to be like 2,000 or 3,000 above what it normally would have been, just because it's that extra reach that you're getting.
Wait, okay, say that again.
So on my Facebook page, like normally, let's say most of my posts get, let's say, an average of 4,000 reach every post that I do. Every now and then I'll do a post that'll reach 100,000. Well, if that post reaches 100,000, every post I do that the rest of the day goes up to about 6,000 to 7,000.
Interesting.
Because it's just all of that extra engagement. is all of a sudden Facebook's like, oh, well, this guy's got some juice. Let's give him a little more reach. And so, but then the next day it starts to go off, and then it all drains away again.
So do you boost your posts on Facebook?
No.
Okay. I'd be interested how that plays into it, because I have noticed something along those lines in the past. I think that it does do a similar, or have a similar effect, even if you are boosting it, even if it's not necessarily an organic reach, you could say. I think that it kind of does still trickle down, I guess you could say.
That's literally what it is. It's trickling. It's we call it, in Google terms, we call it link juice, but in Facebook, it's kind of like the engagement juice. So if you have one post that does really well, it kind of seeps down into the rest of the posts and helps them do well.
Right.
But it doesn't last long. It's like getting a vaccine shot. Unfortunately, it goes away almost as quick as it comes.
Consistency is
that's why.
Is a big thing. So honestly, though, adding something like TikTok is a great tool for that, because now having a whole we put a bunch on in the first couple days, and now there's just a really large palette of pieces that can be thrown out at like 3 thumb clicks, right? I go to TikTok, go to there, share, Instagram, okay. So like 5 or 6 clicks, and you can maintain consistency on other platforms really easily.
Yeah, and why not? I mean, don't feel like you have to recreate something for every platform all the time. Now some people will actually like do one piece of content, and then they'll use some third party thing where it'll take that content and it'll post it to TikTok, to Twitter, to Facebook, and it's the exact same thing. And you don't want to get into the habit of doing that all the time, because you got different audiences and they interact. So people on Twitter don't interact with things the exact same way they do on Facebook, and vice versa on TikTok. So even though there are some pieces or some clips of video that you do want to share on all of them, make sure you still go back to Twitter or Facebook and do something original that wasn't on TikTok.
Sure.
Don't get into it, because there are some people that get lazy, and then all of a sudden they're just posting the same thing to every platform. And the same thing doesn't work on all platforms. Yeah.
I mean, now that I'm really starting to get my head around kind of the whole of the kind of thing, I'm starting to see how that can be done in a realistic way, I guess you could say.
And it could be the same video, just make a different copy. And that's what I do. I'll go to my Facebook account and I'll say, hey, this is Curtis. Hey, you guys are my friends. This is blah, blah, blah. But then I'll go to Twitter and I'll say, hey, Buzzheads, Curtis Tucker here. And so on Facebook, it's more of kind of personal, me and my friends, whereas on Twitter, it's the Buzzheads. It's not people that I personally know. It's people that are following me, try to learn things. And so even though it might be the same piece of content, I kind of talk to them differently. And so that's what I'm talking about is don't let a piece of software do your talking for you. Actually go to the different platforms and do your own talking to whoever's following you.
Okay. So that kind of links into another thing that I've been trying to figure out what the best method is, and that is whether or not to load a piece of content onto Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or for instance, load it onto YouTube and then share it to Facebook, so that all of them are gonna. The idea was, or that I'm playing with, is that then it would be twice as many actually points or whatever views over on the YouTube one, which would.
Unfortunately, it doesn't. Now, in the beginning, it did. So when Facebook first started, Facebook would let you embed the YouTube video onto Facebook, and every time somebody watched it, it was the full. It showed the video right on Facebook, and every time they watched it, you got a view on YouTube. Nowadays, because one day Facebook woke up and said, we want to be the king of video. And since YouTube is the king of video, you're our competition. So now if you notice, when you share or even try to post a link from YouTube, it just won't, it just doesn't reach hardly anybody, because Facebook doesn't want your YouTube videos to reach very many people, because that's competition for them. So so what I always do is, if I'll download that actual video to my desktop and then upload it to Facebook, it'll get a ton more views. Now, unfortunately, those views won't go towards YouTube. So if you go to my YouTube account, either my Enid Buzz one or my Curtis Tucker one, you'll look at my videos and they have very few views. I mean, there might be 30 views here or 800 there, but those videos on Facebook, some of them have 30,000 views. I had a video reach 1 million views one time, but that doesn't translate to YouTube. But
that hurts kind of, right?
Yeah, it really, really sucks, but there's really not much you can do about it.
Okay.
You just got to keep driving people to your YouTube channel and try to get them to watch there. And then embed those YouTube videos on your website, because they give you the embed code. And so when they do watch it on your website, you are going to get the count of those views on YouTube. Unfortunately, you just don't get them on Facebook, because Facebook just doesn't want anybody to see your videos from YouTube.
Okay.
It sucks. Yeah, it sucks.
So the main way really to get all these to kind of cross over is actually drive traffic.
Yeah, it's all about, you're trying to drive traffic to your YouTube channel or your website. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. And
because that's what you're gonna.
I'm going website then YouTube. Do you think that's maybe like adding in a step that shouldn't be there?
No, I think that's good, because your website's really where you're going to sell them. That's where you're going to need to sell merchandise and links to your songs, and you got to have a place where you're selling them, and that's going to be, the website's always going to be the best place to sell them.
Yeah. Okay. And so basically just have your URL in the description for the videos and everything, because I'm also driving obviously from YouTube back to the website.
Yeah.
Because like you're saying, it's all we want them to go to the store page.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. You ultimately always want them to go to your website, because you own the website. That's where your email list sign up's going to be. That's where, it's where you can tell them exactly what you want them to do. So Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, you don't want to live on those. You don't want all your content on those, because if those go away, or the algorithm changes, or they ban you for some weird reason, man, you're dead.
Right.
You don't want to be dead. So I've been banned from Facebook for 3 days, which really sucked for the Enid Buzz account. And I just, I'm like, that's why I drive people to my website all the time, because I don't want them to rely on Facebook for all my information.
So what do you think about using Vimeo along with YouTube? Is that?
I'd use it. Yeah.
Do you just do the same thing?
Yeah, pretty much. You might as well. There's not enough difference that you need different content. I'd upload it to both. Okay.
So that's one I really haven't played around with. And it's basically just an alternative to YouTube, right?
Yeah, I've never understood the big difference why some people prefer Vimeo, because YouTube is, of course, the second largest, most visited website in the world, right behind Google. And they're both owned by Google. And so if somebody's searching for something, there's two major places in the world you search for things, on Google or on YouTube. I don't know why people use Vimeo. I think, to me, some of the videos look better on Vimeo. I think Vimeo's more for people that are a little more professional, have better equipment, want things to look really aesthetic, whereas YouTube is kind of like TikTok. It's like, let's just throw the shit on there, whether the lighting's good or the sound is good. We don't care. We just want to get it on there.
Okay. Yeah. And that's a whole other aspect. Although it is much easier to get good quality out of the newer iPhones, I'll say.
Oh, yeah.
It's easier to get good lighting. It's easier to get, it's much easier. And I do think that quality and the, level of your equipment probably plays into some.
Which really you need to worry about, down the road. But boy, I don't want anybody to say, I'm not going to get started because I don't have the right microphone or the right camera. Don't let any of that hold you back. Just get online, start uploading your stuff. It's going to suck at first. Man, when I started cartooning, my cartoon characters were awful. They sucked, but there was no way I was going to get better if I didn't go through the suck phase, and that's the same way with videos. Just upload them,
everything.
Yeah. Everything you do, you're going to get better at. And but you're not going to get better if you don't get on there and start figuring it out. And you're going to figure it out. And you already are.
To me, there's kind of like this internal struggle between like, man, the artist in me is like, man, we sure are spending a lot of time figuring out how to sell stuff and like how to like get people, aren't we supposed to be like making music and like doing, and like really caring about and focusing on that, which is true. But, the reality is you got to be able to do it. So, and in this day and age, it certainly does seem to be, it's not, doing it all yourself isn't the only route. But it very well may be the preferable route.
I think eventually it will be.
And I think if you are good at it, you probably could provide stability for yourself that, as a musician, that thing is, it's still spinning. It's still not settled down yet, So having your own thing, I think, could probably provide a sense of stability that you wouldn't have otherwise. And so to do that, you got to do basically what I'm doing now and just figure it out.
And no artist is going to get big and famous without somebody promoting them. Well, if you're not doing it, you got to hire somebody to do it. And that's a lot of money. And then there's no guarantee they're going to get you where you want to go. So you might as well learn it on your own.
Business out of it, you can't do it with any real longevity either. Is the reality. So it's like you have to have that aspect in order to kind of to be able to serve the part of it that you want to be focused on and be able to be the focal point. It requires some infrastructure.
And they could drop you. They could carry you for 3 years and then all of a sudden call you up and say, hey, I'm not going to manage you anymore. I'm not going to market you anymore. Then what do? The people that didn't learn marketing on their own, they're screwed.
Right. And before, I think that probably wasn't a real option for most people, I guess, unless you were really big and really like wealthy and connected. But it is now.
And Justin Bieber changed the whole damn thing, becoming who he is off of YouTube. I mean, it just, it opened up the doors to a lot of people. And now TikTok, if you use TikTok to highlight your singing, I think it's going to launch some careers just on TikTok alone.
Oh, I think so. Absolutely. Like I've already come across accounts of people that are doing really well on there, and I just don't see how it isn't affecting. I know it's affecting their YouTube channels, for instance, and having a real strong YouTube channel is really powerful. It really is. So, and building that YouTube channel has been a challenge.
It's a lot.
Because I mean, obviously you can use Google AdSense to do some really, really cool things if you got an ad budget, or if that works into what you're doing, which it can if it has to. But listen, man, if you can figure out a way to get those videos in front of people without that, like let's say there's a platform where you make commercials like TikTok, like that's pretty cool.
And a lot of YouTube is just having the right titles and the right descriptions and the right keywords in below the video. So I might get on and I'll look at some of your videos, because I'm learning that too a little bit, is having the right title could send a video, into outer space, and you could get a ton of people. So sometimes it just it's just having the right title on the video.
Interesting.
Because YouTube is nothing but people searching. People are always searching for stuff. And so if they're searching for local Oklahoma musician, and you don't have that anywhere in the description or the title or the keywords of your video, they're never going to find you. So you got to make sure. You got to make sure.
It could be in the keywords.
It's just adding tags at the end of your description. So the cool thing about YouTube videos is they give you a whole lot of area to put the description of the video in. At the bottom of your description, that's where you want to add some hashtags. Hashtag Oklahoma musician, hashtag Oklahoma live music, hashtag Oklahoma, things like that. And then that's the way, because man, that's what people use YouTube for, is they search. They're searching for things. And so the only way to be found is to be using the right title tags and hashtags. If you're not using any at all, nobody's ever going to find your videos.
Okay, so that's a big focus then, the title tags and hashtags.
Yeah, and when you upload a video, there's going to be an area where they let you put in your own keywords or hashtags. Don't use that area because that's it'll tell you that's not, people aren't going to find you because of that. So what you want to do is actually put your hashtags in the description at the bottom, just like you would on Instagram. So, you write 2 sentences on Instagram and at the bottom you type in hashtag Oklahoma musician. That's exactly what you want to do on YouTube. You want to put those hashtags, keywords at the bottom.
In the description.
In the description, yeah.
Awesome. Good to know. Because I have done that in the past and just didn't feel like it was, I'd done the keywords function when you're uploading, like you were just saying.
Yeah, no.
In the description. And I haven't had much success doing it the other way. So
no, try this and see what happens. And then also, I know it's hard for like a musician, you want to put the title of your song or something in the title,
right?
But that's not, people aren't going to find it, that they're not searching for unless you're becoming more famous, then somebody might actually be, but you can always put the name of the song in the description and they're going to find you. You want to use that title for something that people are searching for, independent musician, indie music, Oklahoma musician, Oklahoma live music. You want to use those words in your titles. Otherwise, people just aren't going to find your videos. So
does title take precedent over description?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Titles are pretty important
in that search function.
Yeah.
That's titles and then description. And those keywords are not playing into it much at all.
Not the ones that they give you the space. They give you like a bar to put them in. And in that area, they're not doing any good for you. That's just to help. What they say is when YouTube is trying to read the words, how they like to put the words on the screen, they want you to put those keywords in to help them know what you might be saying in the video. So it's really just for them. It's not to help with search or anything.
Oh.
Yeah, so those keywords are just for them to be able to do the translation of making your video into words.
Wow.
So if they get stuck on a word, like let's say I'm doing a video on entrepreneur, but maybe I got a weird accent and I say entrepreneur. If I have that in that keyword, they know that I'm saying the word entrepreneur, and so they'll know what to fill it in with. But other than that, those keywords don't go anywhere else. It's only for them to know what. Yeah. So put in your hashtags and your keywords in your description.
Okay. Very good. All right. So that already is going to be, I think, because that's, after getting TikTok kind of flowing, and now it's to the point where, I can just easily upload another one daily, 1 or 2. After that, with my wheels spinning on videos, it's like, okay, how do we really build that YouTube channel? So it sounds like I need to probably really go through and work on the descriptions on all the video descriptions and titles to really maximize that search function. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, it is hard to get people to subscribe on YouTube. I mean, back in the day when everything was easy, it was easier, but now it is kind of tough. But you just got to keep plugging away.
I've had success with different campaigns, and some of them did have to do with, I put a couple dollars on a video and put a little ad. And so my experience has been, once I'm getting it in front of people, there is that slow stream of subscriptions. But the topic has been figuring out how to use all the tools that will enable me to do that without having to pay money. It's huge.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the 100% organic guy because I've done it for so long and I've never had to pay. Mm-hmm. I just did never see that. For me, but I do it full time. Now, if you were somebody that had a full-time job and you were trying to sing and you were trying to do your marketing, then I could see maybe paying because you don't have the time to figure it all out. And that's perfectly fine. But for me, I would rather figure it out and not spend the money. And then that way I know that the more that I do whatever I'm doing organically, the more reach I'm going to get without having to pay.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm focusing on right now. Definitely, I've had some success boosting like flyers and stuff on Facebook for shows. That's been very useful. And maybe there's something that I can do with keywords or just really understanding how Facebook works better to be able to do that without boosting it. But I'll just say that's one place where I have had it's been a very valuable tool.
I would almost say go ahead and pay on Facebook, because their algorithm is so bad that it's hard. They suck you and don't let you reach anybody. But their ads do reach a lot of people, and you can target them.
And if you go ahead and pay that money, it is
just don't pay a whole. Yeah, don't pay a whole lot, but enough, and then also figure out, you might, have a link to your YouTube channel and your website, and use those links every time you post everywhere: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Even though like in Instagram, it's not like a live link they can actually click on, you still want to go ahead and put that in there, because somebody could copy and paste it. You just want to make it as easy for the people as possible to click on something and go to where you want them to go to.
Yeah. And so, and you do feel like just doing the website. So like, let's say on an Instagram post, I should just have my website, right? Not the YouTube URL. Because if you go to that website, right there on the homepage is the YouTube. Is that?
It doesn't hurt. Yeah, what I'm saying, leave your live tag up in your description, your website, but go ahead and type in the link to your YouTube channel just for funsies, because somebody may be like, oh, well, I want to go watch this video, and they'll copy it and paste it and go. It's not going to hurt to do that. You might as well.
Might as well. Okay. Yeah. Okay. See, I've just gone back and forth between like, inundating with options. Like, if you've got your website, Facebook, YouTube, if that would like, bewilder people. I guess.
People are used to that. So what I would do is I would create that list and paste it somewhere, and then just copy and paste it every time, so you don't have to retype it every time. But that's
on your notes on the phone. That's what I've been doing with a few different.
That's what the pros do, and people are used to that. They know that, hey, at the bottom of this, there's going to be 5 links to all of their social media accounts. That's just the way the world is. So so don't be afraid to put those in there. Okay. It'd be nice one of these days if Instagram would actually let those be live links. I don't know why they haven't.
Yeah. It does seem like there are a few functions that are almost like left out on purpose. It's like, now you got to do some work. You got to get them over there yourself. It's like, all right, social media gods, whoever you are, we accept the challenge.
Exactly. Yeah.
So real quick, let's just go over websites for a second. We're already at like, my clock's saying 40 minutes. So I would like to know of a few things, and it may just be that I need to do right now with my website. Okay, I'm using GoDaddy, and I've used it before for making websites for like other people or in doing stuff in the past. This time around, I've done it in the past on the desktop, like just accessing it through their website. This time I've been doing it all with the GoDaddy app, the mobile app, which has, I have to say, been incredibly easy and like intuitive and seems to be very functional, although it's, I'm sure, kind of lo-fi in terms of some of the finer points of websites that some of which were in your article, which I'll post a link to in the description for this. But so if you've got some pointers for someone like me who's there, I have a website, right? And very simple, and I imagine it's hard to have one that's more simple.
Well, and simple's fine. I mean, people sometimes they think too much. When somebody comes to your website, they just want your information or the link or the where do they get the song. They don't care about all the bells and whistles that people think they do. Are you using the right font and the right colors? And that's a bunch of crap. They want to get on your website. They want it to load fast, but for people to find you, you got to have those meta tags. And so we'll have to figure out where you can set those at. And when we get off, I'll kind of check your website and see what they're set at. But that's how Google knows where to index you. So right now, if your title tag for your website says home, Google has no idea where to put you, who you are, or what you want. So you want that title tag to be Zach Baker Music Oklahoma musician, indie music. There's a bunch of different keywords that you want to have in that title tag. And that way, when Google comes to your website, they know where to put you. But without that title tag, they don't know where to put you. They don't know who you are or what you are.
I'll have to go back and look.
What you can do is you can right click, go to your website, and you just right click, and a little menu, and I can go there too. If we got time here, let me go real quick. My keyboard's over here. Let me grab my keyboard real quick.
The homepage. Right click. Yeah, it says search Google for home.
Okay, and you can't see it. So I'm right clicking and I've got this drop down menu and there's a link that says view page source. And so I'm going to click that. And so now it's.
What are you right clicking?
I clicked right below your picture. So in the black area of your website.
Okay.
I just right click in the black area and then a drop down menu and it'll say save page as, save page to Pocket. But if you go a little further down, it says view page source.
View page source. Okay.
And then when you click on that, it shows you the code, the HTML code for your website. And if you look at the very top, it says meta property, meta name, and meta type. And that's where it gives you all of your meta tags. And so it says your title is Zach Baker Music, which is good. But you might want to also have indie musician, Oklahoma musician, live music. You might want to add some of those because you've got a certain number of characters that you can have in your title and you're not using enough. You've definitely got some room to add some more words.
My meta property site name, I guess that's okay. So there's a site name and title.
Now the title's the important one.
Okay, so meta property title.
Yeah, that's the one you want to add. Zach Baker Music, Oklahoma indie musician, plays live music. That's why I suggest people use WordPress, because with WordPress, there's a plugin called Yoast, and Yoast will tell you how many characters to use in your title tag, and it'll go from orange to green when you hit the perfect number, and then if you go over the number, it turns red and tells you, okay, you've used too many characters. Okay. And it makes your SEO a lot easier. And then look for the description tag. I'm not even seeing a description tag. I'm not sure.
Is that part of the meta group?
Yeah, it should be up there, and I'm not seeing it. So maybe GoDaddy doesn't let you have a description tag, but that description tag also helps Google know what your website is about. And that way, and then in the description tag, you can add more words. You can say, hey, I'm Zach Baker, an indie musician, and I play local clubs and coffee houses, and you can book me at this phone number, and you can put all that in the description. And so when Google puts you in their index, it can use that description in the little part that you see on Google.
Okay.
So, but if that's not in there, Google just grabs something from your home page and puts it in there, and it could be something random.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So I need to figure out how to get into all this. So, I mean, obviously, also, I know that there's aspects of doing ad campaigns. Man, I gotta figure out how to get this message to stop me. I know that there are aspects to ad campaigns like pixels and stuff that I imagine you want a WordPress situation.
Yeah. So you go to Facebook and you grab your pixel and you put that pixel in the header code of your website. Now I'm not sure where GoDaddy lets you put it in there, but yeah. So once you put that pixel in the header, it's kind of the hidden code. You wait about a month, and then your pixel is going to know exactly who your audience is, who are the people that have been coming to your website. Then you can go to Facebook and say, hey, run me an ad to match the pixel of my website, and then your ad goes to the exact match person that's been coming to your website, and so it's a no-brainer. It knows exactly who to send your ad to.
Yeah, yeah. Which down the line, I feel like would be an incredibly valuable tool. It seems like probably or creating more of an online audience via TikTok and YouTube and all that is probably higher on my list of priorities. But all that's doable through like the WordPress setup, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it may be available through GoDaddy. I haven't played with GoDaddy, but you might look at some of their tutorials and see how you can get it on there. But that's why I like WordPress, is because there's just so many tutorials and videos, and it's open source, and so many more people use WordPress, and there's so many plugins and widgets and themes that it just makes it easier to use.
GoDaddy, this mobile app definitely does have an impressive, variety of widgets and options that I'm hoping to go this route as long as possible. So I mean, maybe we'll get back to this if you want to take a look at that website and just because I do also want it to create the right impression, right? Because I am driving people there from basically all the channels are being driven there. So that is pretty high on my list of priorities this week, is really tightening that up. So
okay. I'll take a look at it and see, and then maybe I can find somewhere that tells you how to do all that. There's got to be an area that'll let you do that.
Oh yeah, I imagine so. And
it may be, you may have to do it on a computer. You may not have that option on the phone. That may be the problem, is you just don't have the option on the phone.
Yeah. It's just another afternoon digging. Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, I don't know. You'll learn to love it. And then the cool thing is, once you figure it out, it just all starts running real smooth and a lot quicker.
It does. There is that point where once you can start to see how all the pieces can work together and how it's all doable and it's all there. That once you get to that part, it's pretty exciting. And then it gets hard to stop working on it, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, oh man, this is working. So tomorrow I have to have all this stuff done because it's doing this today. I have to, like.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's cool. So, I really appreciate your advice and help. And, I imagine that there are going to be other people that watch this that are going to appreciate it as well, because this is very valuable for me. So I imagine it will be for other people who are doing the same thing. So
cool.
Thank you very much.
Just hit me up with an email or a phone call if you need anything else. Just let me know.
I will. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you later.
Okay. See you guys.
Bye, Curtis. Bye, guys.